me.
I was very enthusiastic about fighting until I was 19. And when I was 19, I fought in this tournament in Anaheim, California. It was the Nationals. And I was the Massachusetts state champion. And I fought this kid who was, I think he was from Illinois. I think he was the Illinois state champion. And I hit him in the head with a wheel kick. And what a wheel kick is like your body spinning. So I'm standing with my left foot forward and I'm spinning my right heel around in a circle.
Okay.
And it has insane power. Insane power.
Right.
The amount of power that you get in a wheel kick is because it's my legs, it's my upper body.
Just
There's
torque.
a whip to it. It's got all this torque. And I caught this guy. He came at me with what's called a stepping roundhouse kick. So he had his front leg forward, and he stepped forward with his left leg. He was going to throw a kick, and I spun with my right leg at the same time. So I caught him running in, and I blasted him in the face. And he went out, face plant, snoring, never woke up. Never woke up. He was unconscious for half an hour. They put him in a stretcher. I was watching. He never got out of that stretcher. They took him to the hospital. I have no idea what happened to him. And it freaked me out.
Yeah.
It freaked me out.
Yeah.
I lost my next match, and that was my third match of the day.
Were you just like, I can't get over this?
No, I lost my next match. The guy was just better.
Okay.
I just lost.
Okay.
And but when I went back to Boston, my main instructor, he wasn't there in California when I was fighting, and so because there was a team of us, it was like 10 of us that went to California, and he said to me, he goes, "I heard you had a great knockout," and I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Wheel kick." I go, "Yeah." I go, "I thought he was dead. He never got up." He goes, "Sometimes they die."
Fuck. Dude.
I was 19, and I was fighting for zero money. Wow. None of it made any. And my heel was sore.
Oh, yeah.
I was limping the next day because my heel was sore from his face.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, I'm not immune to that.
Yeah.
Someone could 100% do that to me.
Yeah.
We're whipping fucking bones at each other.
Yeah.
You know, I mean. It changed my feeling about it. I didn't have the same enthusiasm after that. That was probably like the beginning of the end for me. I fought for a couple more years, but it was like, that was kind of it. I was kind of like, what?
Was your aspiration before that to be like a world champion
I wanted to be in the Olympics.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but there's no money in Taekwondo. There was no money in kickboxing either. I had an offer for a kickboxing fight. It was like $500.
Boy.
But and then if I fought professional, then I could never fight amateur again because now I'm a professional. So
okay.
It was like $500. It was like $500 to train for like 2 months and maybe get pummeled.
Yeah.
You know, maybe get brain damage, maybe get my nose shattered.
Yeah.
You know, maybe get my ribs kicked in. Like,
and that's the beginning of the stand-up career, essentially?
Well, I was doing both at the same time as well, which was also a problem because I knew I wasn't as committed to fight. But it really began with that 19-year-old when I knocked that dude out. That was the beginning of the end. And then it was like later on, it was headaches from kickboxing.
Oh, wow.
I was getting a lot of headaches. I was getting headaches. Like after sparring, I would be lying in bed and my brain would just be throbbing, just boom, boom, boom. And I remember thinking, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, am I ruining my brain?
Yeah.
Because I knew a lot of guys who their brain got ruined. And it didn't seem like they realized it. It didn't seem like, because they were still fighting.
Yeah.
It didn't seem they realized, or maybe they didn't know what to do, or maybe they just weren't that smart, but they were still fighting and training. But I was realizing they were slurring their words.
Yeah.
And there's just this clear evidence that something was off.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, is that happening to me? Is that going to happen to me?
Yeah.
You know? And then there's all sorts, later on I realized there's all sorts of other side effects of that, which is like impulsiveness, gambling addiction. People get crazy. They start doing a lot of drugs. They drink a lot. A lot of guys become drunks because they're just trying to feel good.
Yeah.
They just feel terrible all the time.
Yeah, and we had no idea about any of this back then.
You were in a fog of depression.
Yeah.
Because people thought back then punch drunk was a thing. That was real. Everybody knew a guy, but no one worried about it up until it was obvious.
Right.
You know, and no one worried about, there's a subconcussive traumatic brain injuries that cause a lot of CTE, which is chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Right.
And that's the thing that makes people kill themselves and do wild shit and lose their fucking mind. But soccer players get that. Man,
I know. It's
from
so,
heading the ball.
I've heard this, and it's so crazy how delicate the brain is. We don't think about it.
Super delicate.
Yeah.
It's super delicate. And that's why I tell my friends that they still like to spar. I was like, man, I know it's fun. I know it's fun to spar, but don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it, man. Don't do it, because you could just slip away and not even realize that you slipped away.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is like spar with one meathead, one guy who really, and then he hits you and you get mad and you hit him, and next thing you know, you're in a fight.
Right.
You're in a fight in the gym. And a lot of fights happen in the gym. There's a lot of sparring matches that essentially become fights where you're just wailing
People
on
don't
each other
break it up?
No, most gyms don't.
Right.
It depends on the gym. I mean, a really good gym will break it up, especially if someone's better than the other person and they're wailing on them. A really good gym will stop that.
Yeah.
But a really good gym will not want you to spar like that most of the time anyway. Most of the time they want you to what they call technical spar. So you just kind of like